Happy birthday, Lyubov! And hey, Brian, how are you guys doing? Over a year ago now, in fact, crazy. March 4th, 2017, you two got married, and it was such a beautiful wedding. For me, it was the highlight of 2017, above Burning Man even. I talk about it all the time. And I had the honor of being maid of honor. I got to give a speech. Sadly, the speech wasn't recorded, but on request for your birthday, this is me recreating that speech as best as possible. Now, obviously I can't recreate the magic of the armory and all your friends and loved ones and family there. But what I can do is I can take you to the site where you originally were thinking about getting wed, which is the beautiful Golden Gate Park. And now I'll do the speech. So here it is. Pretend this little bouncy castle is where you guys have just proposed, you married, everyone gives a speech, and I was lucky enough I got to give this speech. So I'm gonna have to read it and recall as best as I can how amazing it was, how beautiful you looked, Lyubov, and Brian with your stunning hair, looking dapper. And so I got up. Now, hi everyone. My name is Andrew, and this girl, who is one of the most radiant and beautiful girls on the face of the earth, is also my closest best friend. I'm maid of honor, which is a first for me because I'm a dude. The maid of honor often comes with different anatomy, but my understanding is that I still get the honor of talking about this adorable couple, so I am excited. Lyubov, you look stunning. Brian, you also look stunning too. The process of writing a speech for Lyubov almost immediately reduced me to happy tears because I adore her so much. When I look at Lyubov, I see the wise guardian angel we all want in life. The little sister who is so pure and innocent you just want to hug them. The tenacious entrepreneur who makes us want to change the world. The excitable foreign vegetable-eating hippie who wants to make us laugh, and the best quality of friend you could imagine, all rolled into this wonderful, cute, open smile. Let me tell you about when I met Lyubov. It was only 2.5 years ago, but it genuinely feels like she's been my friend for a lifetime, as if she uses some kind of Ukrainian magic to distort time. And I know I'm not alone in this. As soon as you meet Lyubov, you know you've met one of the most spectacular, effervescent women on this planet. And if you're all receptive to the love that she emulates, that's it, you're gone. And Brian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Brian was smitten worse than all of us. Lyubov is 1 in a billion. I met Lyubov on the dance floor, and right away I knew she was something else. Lyubov is the most wonderful dancer. I remember one time she invited me to silent disco in the park. That day was an adventure, even by Lyubov standards. Just getting to a friend's house, I had to carry her at one point because she refused to let her bare feet touch anything that wasn't nature. We talked to every weird hipster along the way and ended up in some random house in Berkeley. It was in the backyard next to the fire. She started doing her little solo wavy dance thing where she closes her eyes and just goes into a trance. For hours she did that. And she kept doing it for hours after the music ended. Lyubov doesn't need drugs to be high. She doesn't need music to dance. She is high on life in a way that few of us will ever achieve, but we all love to try. Turn the page. I met Lyubov dancing and I was hooked on that energy and excitement to discover we worked at the same place. A place of people that honestly don't recognize or didn't recognize her potential. Full of logical computer people who rarely ever hug. Computer people are the worst. For me, she was such a breath of fresh air. I could go to her anytime to hug, to talk about girl problems, to be real. to admire whatever stunning, foreign, colorful dress she was wearing and let some of that color spread into my world. The day she left Google was both very sad and very happy for me. I knew I'd miss her hugs, but I was also excited to see her spread her wings, to move up, to begin her career in the porn industry. Finally, I know someone in porn. I'm always happy to boast to friends about my friend who works in kink, a princess in a castle, because how could anyone as unconventional, ambitious, and talented with people be confined to anywhere but a castle? What Lyubov has is very hard to teach. It's not tangible. It's the way she makes us feel, what makes us want her to be our best, or us to be our best. It's her passion for life. Lyubov is always there for me, my every heartbreak, giving me incredible advice to be authentic and honest to a fault. In just my first year under Lyubov's influence, I was suddenly going to strange and wild events which I can't even tell my family about. Underwater dancing, cuddle parties, staring into strangers' eyes, dancing in neon caves, talking about my darkest feelings in front of a microphone wearing only tears. Lyubov pushed me towards that. I've gone from a logical being to someone who can cry during the most embarrassing movies. Sometimes I feel I've gone from a solid best man type material in former years to a hot mess of emotions, highs and lows, and I can never go back from that. But not a day goes by that I don't thank her for that. One day I want the courage to take the risks she does. Now, it was difficult for me to imagine Lyubov meeting any guy that I thought was deserving of her, actually. But if there is one guy who is as unique, passionate, quirky, trusting, loving, and funny as Lyubov, it's Brian. A man who has more passion about hammocks, camping, potty squatty steak, and 3D printers in the tip of his finger than most people have in their entire lives. A man into my own heart, a man who eats meat, a man who builds stuff with his hands, a man who lets Lyubov be herself. And of course, just like the rest of us, when he hears the many English phrases that Lyubov gets mixed up, he laughs from his belly with no intention of ever correcting her, because to change Lyubov or to correct what some might perceive as a grammatical mistake is to rob the world of something special. Okay, now this is where I went off script, which was kind of fun. It was spontaneous, but I actually went back home and wrote it down. So I said, hey, I'm going off script. After this amazing heart-to-heart ceremony, I feel like we know each other pretty well. Everything about this wedding and people is unique. Probably not a huge shock, I used to date Lyubov. I was actually chatting to Brian's mum about it, having a laugh. Our transition from dating to friendship was actually a really magical one, and filled with love. And my biggest fear is that if Brian met someone, surely that person wouldn't understand that connection that Lyubov and I have. And so this is where I remember looking at Brian and saying, that's why I'm just so incredibly thankful to Brian for just kind of getting it. Probably helped by the fact that his best woman was best man was a woman, so we had kind of that symmetry or reflectiveness going. Yeah, so I'm really thankful that I was really thankful that Lyubov gets that freedom and trust, and you guys just have something special that I hope to find one day. Just be yourselves. Back to the script. Now, I wonder if I could change the scene, or at least do this. Maybe not. Many people come and go in this life. And then there are the people we can't imagine our life without. They encourage us to pause. We are so damn proud of them every day, but especially proud today. Lyubov is one of my very, very favorite human beings on the planet. And the more I learn about and hang out with Brian, the more I admire him too. Brian, I hope you are ready for a lifetime of adventure, because that's what you signed up for. You guys are an incredible couple. And then to Brian and Luba, that is where I raised my glass. And that is the end of my speech. Brian and Luba, I love you guys so much. I might even give this to you in person, hopefully. I'm gonna come and visit you more often in Santa Cruz and crash over. Anyway, love you heaps. Bye.